Okay, we'll take our next question here in the middle from Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Matt, you've made what appears to be a perfectly seamless transition from Roush to Gibbs. How much of the setups of the cars, how much is you're adapting to their setups, and how much is they're adapting the setups to your style?
Well, I don't know. I think that's always a balancing act. I mean, for as many different cars that we've went through, and teammates and theories and all that stuff through all my years of racing. I mean, everything's not always the same. I mean, you can't really, even when Roush was really big, you couldn't really take 5 cars and set them up exactly the same and build them exactly the same and get the exact same results. So, I mean, everybody has their things, or the crew chiefs has their things that they like a little bit better, or try a little bit different or whatever. So, again, just looking forward and looking what we've done this year and not going back farther than that. I mean, I think the transition has obviously been pretty good. I think the key is to not change your approach and just, keep digging and keep working on it and keep trying to get better.
Any additional questions? Okay, we got one right up front here.
Hey, Matt, Pat Princeby with WGAL-TV. You may have already answered this, so forgive me, but just the challenges of coming to this particular track with the new car, what does it present to you, to the team?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge of this track here, the last, last handful of years at least, is typically the track condition changing. Now this time it might not be, quite as bad because, the truck's been on the track putting rubber. But anyway, the way the track is when it's clean compared to when it rubbers up is usually drastically different. So that's usually been the biggest challenge for me, is getting something that drives good once the track is rubbered up, and to be able to pass and have your car decent, behind other cars to be able to get around them. So it's always a balance. You usually practice, this morning and the track is real clean. You do your last practice tomorrow and it's all rubbered up, for the race. Makes it a little more challenging, especially when it's hot out.
Okay, we'll do a question from Jeff, then go up to Lee.
Jeff Hood of Racing Today. Matt, you have seen Chase Elliott race against Roush, your son, in late models, and Chase is running the track race here today. What are your thoughts about Chase Elliott running NASCAR?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him in the trucks and other cars a whole bunch yet. Every time I've watched Chase race in late model cars, certainly he's you can see a lot of his dad in him. He's really talented, and he's smart, and he's calm, and he's calculating. The times that I've watched him race, you don't usually see him get himself in a bad situation, and that's always something I think you look for. In a young driver, he always seemed. He's grown up a lot here the last couple of years, but I started watching him. He always seemed, kind of smart behind his years. He just kind of thought about things, before they happened, and didn't get himself in a lot of bad situations.
Okay, we'll go to Lee, then Claire.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Ross has won a lot of sizable features like crown jewels of late model. What are your plans for him for the rest of the summer?
The rest of the summer, he's got his late model schedule set. The stuff that I own and that he's running. You can go to his website and find that. But he's got that all set. And other than that, he doesn't have any concrete plans right now. I think that obviously he would like to move up, and he would like to get an opportunity, to get in a, whatever would be the next level, a truck or a Nationwide car or even a K&N car or something like that. Those opportunities haven't been there yet for him. But certainly, I think he would like to move up eventually.
And how do you keep your cool when you have a situation kind of similar to what you had here last year, where the car just kind of fell apart on you, and it's one of your best tracks on the whole circuit. It's a place you can come in and win. How do you just pull it all back together and just go out there and do the job?
I mean, things happen. I mean, there's a lot of mechanical things in these cars, and there's a lot of human things. And we had last fall we had a part break, and then so it was fixed, and obviously wasn't. We had a break again, so it was that was a frustrating race for us. But I think looking back, I think we rebounded well from that. We had 2 out of 3 weeks that were a disaster going in the chase with shock falling off and a track bar breaking and falling off, and all that stuff happened, and still rebounded and came back and won a couple races and finished the year respectably. So things like that happen. You just got to keep it in perspective and try to figure out how to fix things and move on to the next week.
Next question from Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Jeff Burton competed here 25 times before winning in '06, and then of the 16 active Dover winners, Jeff and Kurt Busch and Mark Martin and you and Bobby Labonte and Ken Schrader all made like 10 or more attempts before they won here. Does that mean that this track would favor veterans? Could a rookie come here? Could a young driver who's not, I mean, everybody's got to have their first win, but talk about whether once you nail it here as well, you kind of then are able to do it the next time.
Well, I think there's been a few first-time winners here, I think, but, you know, things just change a lot. So, I mean, even if you think you got the track figured out, I mean, things change a lot with cars or teams or setups, or somebody might have the hot hand for a while. You know, like the 48's almost been unbeatable here, it seems like, for the last 4 or 5 years, unless they have a problem or you get them on pit strategy or something funny happens. So, you know, I don't know. You'd like to think that experience means something with all the racetracks that you go to, but you know, it's kind of like anywhere else. You get to get the car right, and you get the car faster than the rest of them, and make the right calls and do all that stuff, and you know, hopefully they'll have a shot.
And how would you rank this track in difficulty compared to all of the tracks on the circuit?
Well, I think that's different for everybody. I think every driver has a track that's easier for them, and a track that's harder for them, more challenging for them. So this track is difficult because it's fast and you can attack it and you're always kind of on the edge and all that, but it's kind of the difficult that I enjoy. I seem to struggle more with the tracks. You have to have more finesse and go slower to go fast, and you know, the flatter tracks and stuff. So these are the kind that I really enjoy, with a lot of banking where you can drive hard.